Welcome to Shambhavi Spectrum Cheer the Champs series. Today, my champ, who's on a mathematical journey, is Aditya Mishra. Welcome, Aditya. Thank you so much for finding the time. I know it is exam times and there's a lot of pressure on everyone, but I'm really appreciative of the fact that you decided to join me here and share some of your achievements with us. Give me a little bit background, Aditya, about yourself.
Well, thank you. My name is Aditya Mishra. I go to Emirates International School, Jumeirah in Dubai. I'm in year 12, section 12A. And yeah, I'm 17 years old. I'm from India. And I have been achieved for mathematics and physics as my majors.
That sounds very great, and I'm sure for a lot of people that sounds it's like the math is the looming threat in their lives. Tell us more about when you became interested in math and where did this journey take you?
Well, to be honest, for me, mathematics, I've had the preconception that maths is an amazing language. There are a lot of people, and I've done a TED talk on this before, it's still getting processed by the school, but I talked about how maths is very misconceived by the people, by the youth. They think it's just numbers, it's boring, it's hard, and they can't understand it. Well, maths is much, much more than just numbers. It's patterns, it's relationships, it's connections. When you form a connection with something, you're doing maths. That's the essence of it. So it just happens to use numbers as a way of talking, the same way we use English or a language as a way of talking or in conveying ideas. So that's mathematics. And I have loved maths since I could remember. I have never had any preconceived notion that maths is hard, maths is tough for me, because I just seem to be able to understand how the logical things works in it. And a lot of my friends have also told me, why do you understand? How do you teach this sense to people? I just said, well, you just have to understand it's like a language. You just play with the numbers a bit and it'll all fall in the correct place.
I think you've given an amazing insight that you are talking to the numbers rather than just trying to figure out where to put them, and just possibly like how you learn the alphabets, which becomes words and then sentences, and then that's probably how you are looking at it. And can you tell me, just with language, you need to practice a lot of reading, you need to develop your vocabulary. So what would you suggest for math?
Well, the thing about maths is the beauty of it, at least, is that there are so many things you can do with it, much more than you can do with English, say, for example, or a language in general. Though language have a lot of cultural meaning and depth and ideas behind it, with maths, you can show that there is a lot of things. Like there are so many subjects in mathematics. There's matrices, geometry, trigonometry, basic arithmetic, complex arithmetic, etc. And you can use mathematics in so many different ways, in so many different aspects of real life. So the way you manipulate them is that there's nothing to be worried about grammar, or there's nothing to be worried like you do with a normal language. But there are similar aspects in that there are certain rules that you have to follow when you're constructing, like when you're making a sentence. Same way when there's certain rules in different areas of mathematics. You follow the rules. As long as you're following the rules, as long as everything is working out fine, there should be no problem with what you're doing. You should be able to prove what you want to prove as long as it's within these rules. So it's a very creative subject. It's not at all a very ordered subject like certain others. It is very, very creative, and you can do a lot of different things because science is also based off of maths and also has the same notion that there are different ways of doing the same thing. Some ways might be easier, some ways might be harder, some ways might be more expressionate, some ways might be more insightful. There are different ways to doing things in maths. So yeah, it's just you have to find your way in maths and then follow that.
What about the fact that you have to give exams which are also monitored and there is a time limit on that? What about that aspect?
Well, you see, the fact that people do exams is just to test that whether what you have done in classroom is effective, whether your understanding in classroom is effective. That's the point of exams. So when they're asking students to give an exam, they're trying to test your understanding on a standard that they have created. So a lot of people, like in my TED talk, I talked about Eddie Wu. He's a TEDx speaker as well, very famous Australian maths teacher who flunked out in maths in high school many, many times. And it was very surprising. He's like, I did not understand maths. I hated maths like any other kid. But then I found out when I was doing my teaching graduation that maths is very interesting and there's a different way to look at it. And I would like to apply that here, that maths can be looked at a different way. When you're talking about exams and there's a time limit, that is to say there's a set standard of time that you need to complete in that is considered for their standards, but not everybody learns the same way. As I've just said before with the previous example, people can look at maths in different ways. And so for some people who might like maths but are not doing the exams, maybe they have a different way of understanding. But the reality now, the situation is you have to show that understanding on paper. So as long as you can show the understanding on paper in exams and on a time limit within their standards, it's all good.
That's great message for the students who are watching, and as well as the parents to understand that if a child has not scored so well in an exam, it doesn't mean that their knowledge of math is that there is such a big gap. Maybe they'll cover it over a period of time.
Yes.
Thank you, Aditya. I think that's a very important message, which I hope goes across to our audience. I would also like to request you to talk a little bit about the achievements which you have made. I think you've taken part in certain events and competitions, and you've got certain accolades for that. Would you share that with us, please?
Thank you so much. Thank you. I participated in the Ken championships. I'm not very sure right now, maybe 2 or 3 years before, but I participated in it, and it was like a form of Sudoku, but not Sudoku. It involved more mathematic operations. Like you had a square grid, you add the numbers, subtract the numbers, multiply, divide, and try and match the numbers, but they follow the Sudoku rules that the same number can be in each row or column. So it was really, really fun and interesting. First, the guy came in from outside to publicize about the event, and they gave us all like free booklets, and I got really interested in it. And I told my mom, sign me in for it. And she's like, no, you won't do it. And I was like, please sign me in. And I went in, and maybe that was one of the best things that I did, because I managed to get through the first 3 rounds, and I made it to 6th nationally in the UAE. So thank you. I got a gold medal. I got on to go on the stage, and they took my photograph and all that. And it was really, really nice. And I made my parents proud. I made those who were close to me proud. I made teachers proud. I made my school proud as well. And it was really, really nice.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful, and congratulations for that, and for the fact that you believed in yourself and you made others believe in you. Where is your journey taking you further up? What are you planning to do?
Well, actually, there's one more thing. I just signed up last year, November or October, for the International Olympiad. That's one of my achievements. I signed up for physics, chemistry, maths. I got through round 1 for physics, chemistry, and maths, and the round 2 was nationally of the UAE. Unfortunately, I couldn't get through round 2 for chemistry, but for physics and maths, the results were released just this Friday, 26th of Feb. I got 2nd nationally in the UAE for the mathematics. This was not a Sudoku game or some sort of puzzle. No, this was like a maths test. It's an Olympiad. So I got 2nd nationally for maths, and I got 4th nationally for physics. So for both things, I qualified. And now what I'm looking forward to is that since I qualified for maths, there's the IOAA, International Olympiad for Astronomy and Astrophysics. I'm going to take part in that in Bogota, Colombia. I will actually go there, God willing, if I can, and
Definitely.
participate with different countries and different students who were tops of their country, and try and challenge them. And I'm also going for the Asian Physics Olympiad for the physics counterpart, but that one is online, so I will do it in the comfort of my home.
Right. So that sounds so wonderful, and I wish you all the very best for whatever you're planning and what your achievements are. And I hope that this gives a message to our audience, to the children who aspire to do math, that it's just a language, and you just need to know how to speak to it. Thank you so much, Aditya. Any one last message which you want to give out to anybody out here?
I think I have one last message. For those, this is again related to not just math. You could relate this to math, but it doesn't have to be applied here. It's more of a spiritual message, if you could say. But the way is that in maths, trust me, even though it may seem like I am out of your league, I am not out of your league. I am just a student. I'm in 12A. I was one of you guys. I worked hard and I got all the way here. And the way I did it was I did not think that I would give up for 1 second. I thought, like, just let me do that one thing and maybe I'll get in. Just let me be 5 seconds faster for the Ken Ken. Just let me finish that answer correctly. Just let me think 5 seconds faster. And where I am now, I have not been alone. There are so many people that have helped me. You don't have to do this alone. But you need to understand that if you're trying to pursue, if you want to do something, you need to take the opportunity on your own. You need to take the initiative and you need to grasp what is in front of you so that you can get there and achieve your dreams. And also, as a testimony, you can make those around you feel pride in that they supported you and you achieved it. So that's the way I like to work.
Thank you so much, Aditya. I think there's a lot of depth and lot of levels of message which the audience would need to take some time to process. And thank you so much once again. And please do stay on. I'll talk to you more offline. So please do stay on. All right. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.